Welcome to One Little Coder. In this video, we are going to see how to enable R programming within VS Code. So VS Code is one of the most popular IDEs that is available currently. And if you are an R programmer, you could be using RStudio slightly heavily. But there are instances where you want to turn towards a different IDE, or it is also possible that you also code in a lot of different languages like JavaScript, Python, and then you are used to using VS Code for that particular environment, particular language. And for R, you have to switch to RStudio, so which probably you don't want to do it at this moment, and you want to use it within VS Code. So given this scenario, so you would want to have one IDE and then use that IDE for all the languages rather than shifting between different editors. So we are going to see how to do that, how to enable R within VS Code so that you can start writing R programs within VS Code. So if you do not know about VS Code, I would strongly encourage you to check VS Code. VS Code is an IDE by, it's actually a free IDE by Microsoft. So it's really good, and it has got a good ecosystem. So and they regularly deliver updates, especially for Python, and you can even in fact edit your Jupyter notebooks using VS Code for Python especially. So if you do not have, download it and install it, and this is how VS Code would look like. So I just increase the size of it, and now we have to install VS Code R plugin for VS Code. So VS Code R, and you can actually see the first one that would take you there. So you can either do this thing, or you can actually go to the extensions here and then say R, and then you can see, okay, the first one, install it. Once it's installed, you can see that it has been installed, and let's try out the first R file. So go here. Okay, let's close this for a moment. Then say, okay, you want to first save the file so that it knows it's a R, first R code. Okay, and then let's say library tidy verse, then run it. Control enter for running it. So you can see it has successfully run. So let's also do head of iris. So head of iris, you can actually see head of iris. Iris is an inbuilt data set. So the other good thing with VS Code is it, as you can see, that this code that you're running, it is getting executed here on the terminal for you, right? So which means if you are in a corporate environment where you have got a project within an SSH inside a secure server, and if you have been switching your terminals, or if you have been not able to use a proper editor within an SSH setup, that's usually the case, right? So you're not going to get an RStudio within the remote machine in a lot of cases. So those are the cases where you can actually use VS Code, edit code here, and then the moment you run it, it is going to get executed on the SSH here, because you've already connected to the SSH, the R on SSH rather than R on your local machine. So that is the thing. The other thing is, let's exit this and then let's open a new terminal, split terminal. Okay, and if you say R, you actually do not get a good, let's say, what do you call, okay, I'll just go here and then type R. So you don't get a good console, right? So your R console may not be a good colorful one. So for that, what you need to do is you need to install something called Radian, which would help you get a very colorful, proper IDE type content on your console. So you can start even using your console a lot more than that you do. So this is the project. You can just look for a Radian R console, and you would end up in this thing, pip install Radian. Let's install it and then see. Okay, it's getting installed. Once it gets installed, okay, it has been successfully installed. Now let's run R. Oh, it's still not found. Okay, let's just close our VS Code and open our VS Code again. VS Code. Oh yeah, before you can use the Radiant terminal, you have to go to your preference, settings, r dot bracketed paste. So you have to use r dot bracketed paste if you are not using it before. Cool, so that is done. Go to your files. Okay, you don't have anything open. You can select the folder, and okay, it's loading, and you can select, okay, VS Code. Let's run control enter. You can see it is running. So let's create a new terminal. R. There is an issue with the invoke command cannot locate the most recent history. That's okay, so we'll just ignore that. That's fine. This has been successfully installed. Also, when you have a data frame, let's say in this case, I'm going to call empty cars. So VS Code, the plugin R plugin gives you a few shortcuts. So first, Control 1 prints number of rows. Control 2 gives you the length, which means the number of columns. Control 3 gives you head, and control 4 gives you summary, transposed head. So you can see all those shortcuts here. So control 1 2 3 4 5 n row, length, head, t head, and 5 is names, the column names. So it's really handy. You can develop a intuition about how to use it. So the other thing is you can use F1 and then you can say R to do anything with R. So you want to build a package, you want to create an R terminal, or you want to install a package. So whatever you want to do, you can do it with this thing. So you have to do F1 and then you have to type R, so you get R related. Let's say in this case, let's say you want to create an R terminal, so you get an R terminal where you can do library tidyos, or let's say we can even say 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. You can do whatever you want, right? So that is about enabling R programming within your VS Code. So you can read more about it. I would also link this GitHub repo and also Radiant's GitHub repo for you to have a look at it. If you want to, let's say, test a small code, let's do this thing. Let's make a plot. Let's make a plot of iris and then see what is coming. So it's opening a new window, R graphics, and then you can actually see the plot. So instead of this thing, let's do let us say I want iris, and or let's write a for loop for name in names of iris, print paste. So you can just see, right? So you just saw what it did. So when the moment you put paste, it is helping you with the required arguments. So paste of name, paste of first string is this is a column name, and then saying another thing which is name, and then your separator is nothing, and next one is nothing. So when you run this, you get this is a column name, sepal length is a column name, sepal width is a column name, petal length is a column name, petal width is a column name. So this is what you got. So that's the beauty of this thing. So you can try any other function. Let's say in our case we want to do mean. So sorry, it doesn't have mean. So it gives you default like this. So you can do iris dollar sepal length, and you get this thing. So it's really handy if you're going to use R in a programming environment rather than a data science environment, or you have used R in a data science environment and then now you want to productionize your code, so that you want to refactor your code, write a small script, you don't want to deal with a lot of other things. So this is really handy for you. So give it a try, and let me know your opinion. So you can do a lot of things. You can develop R packages. You can like I said, you can use SSH. You can run your code within SSH. You can develop snippets, and you can do package development, just like I mentioned. So you can do a lot of things. So I would let you try this and then share your opinion with me. So this is using R within VS Code, and then the plugin that we have used is VS Code R, and then we also looked at how to install Radian to have a very colorful a good editor that gives you auto completion and all these kind of good stuff. So I hope this video was helpful. I'll see you in the next one.